Hello, live chatters and mad hatters. This is Douglas George Bloch coming to you on another hot, smoky day in Portland, Oregon, as my mother used to say. It is now August 15th, 2021. Can you believe it? Just seemed like yesterday I'd moved to Oregon in 1973. Anyway, welcome to Pastor Doug's Depression Recovery Radio Hour. And good to be with you. I was, as you remember, coming from the coast, broadcasting from the Oregon coast in Walport a week ago with rafters behind me. Now we're back in the same old studio with the Bolivian flag. Nice little wonderful picture of the Himalayas behind me. And see, nice to see you. I was just thinking about, I need to talk to someone who's been 80 years old. Is there really life after 80? Hey, Marina Black Yarn from somewhere around Serbia, and Xenia K, I haven't heard or seen you before. So another day over 90. I think we're breaking all sorts of records. 6 days over 100. You know, it was the hottest July on record, period, anywhere and everywhere in the world. So anybody who thinks that global warming is a fiction, just live in Portland this summer. Pamela, always nice to see you. Thank you for your nice feedback in the comment. David, UK, yes, you're new here from New Jersey. They used to be called the armpit of America, but no, it's actually a nice state. I grew up across the Hudson River in New York. Iraqi Monster, strange name for such a nice person. There is life after 80. We need to talk on the phone. I mean, I've been having some health challenges. Speaking of which, my hip replacement surgery is now scheduled for in 2 days, August 17th, 48 hours from now. At this very moment, I will be under the knife. So your uncle just passed away. I'm really sorry to hear that. Speaking of the limitations of life. Greetings from the Greyhound bus to you, Charles. Where are you headed right now? Anyway, yeah, Tuesday, if you could hold some good thoughts. Remember last time it was canceled at the last minute, but this time I have authorization for sure from the insurance company. It's okay to go for it. Hey, Dhruv Gautam, love your name. Kevin Wilson, good afternoon. Flip von Wellingham from Belgium, yes, you've been here many times. And Rick M, of course, dealing with a severe case of anxiety. Yeah, join the club. Good luck with your surgery. Thank you, Xenia. I take it that's a female name? I don't know, Africa maybe? Your videos changed my look to the world. Well, thank you. How did they change your look or your perspective? Hey, Sana from Denmark. Yay, team. Doing any better after your long bout with depression? I like to think that what goes up, down must come up. Grimsey in England. A lot of UK people. I've been praying for every day for your surgery to go good. If you want my phone number, I will give it to you. We can visit. Yeah, why don't you email me? That would be, more, what do you call it? Whatever it is, more private. Yeah, send me an email. That'd be great. I need some inspiration about turning 80. It seems like it's like 70 is this bad. Here it is, douglasbloch@gmail.com. Anybody can email me with questions, and if you're really struggling, I will send you this thing I'm very proud of. I put this together with my godson, self-care activities to improve your mood. A diagram that's been used by many counselors around Portland in the past, and just send me an email. Eastern Oregon, wow, Dragoon Kate, yes. I hear about smokes are coming. There are all these fires in Central Oregon. Yeah, it is smoky. Heading to Vegas. Well, good for you. It's probably hot as hell there also. Juan Benitez, life in America is all right if only our social didn't stigmatize mental illness. Well, it's not just here. It's a lot worse in Japan, a lot worse in parts of Africa. No, we have it pretty good here compared to the rest of the world. Protocol. Patrick Coleman, yay. My nephew in Camas, Washington, who's growing monster peppers. Joan and I, my wife and his aunt, decided we were going to give Patrick a loan. You don't know this yet, Patrick, but Pat is going to start his own business called Pat's Peppers. Guaranteed to give you a rush. He's growing jalapeno peppers, that is. Don't you like the name of that, Pat's Peppers, or Peppers by Pat? So Pat, you don't know it, but you're going into business. I call it in the USA, where I am in the United States, of anxiety. That's very cute. I've been convicted for asking for help as advised when suicidal. What do you mean by convicted? Convicted of what? You mean put in the psych ward? No, people will only hospitalize you when you're suicidal if you're in immediate danger to yourself or others, or to yourself. That's how it's been in America for quite some time. So I'm not quite sure your circumstances, but I'm sorry that happened to you if it did. So, speaking of anxiety, what are some tools and techniques people use? I have a wonderful video, malicious communication. Well, that sometimes happens. 25 viewers, come on, we can up that. I guess we just got started. Thank you, Charles. Starting the way, this is essentially a non-profit situation where every contribution helps to pay the videographers to film and edit these videos. Anyway, what was I going to do? Oh yeah, I was going to put a nice title of this really helpful. Your anxiety is so commonplace, and why wouldn't it be, right? All the uncertainty in the world, all the fires, everything. It's a very difficult time to be living. And not only that, in Oregon, now we have these new restrictions. Everybody has to wear a mask indoors because, the spike of COVID, the new Delta variant. Do you know how to deal with emotional numbness, Giancarlo Rochelle? Not really. I haven't experienced that. Does daydreaming affect the brain? Yeah, a lot of people who daydream are quite creative. I'm so depressed since the death of my husband, I don't want to live anymore. Well, that is very common. I mean, we are human beings. We're social animals. We're meant to be bonded. When a partner dies, it's actually and there's a very famous test that measures your level of stress from 1 to 100, and death of a partner or a spouse is 100. And people, when that happens, they're much more likely to fall prey to mental illness or physical illness. It's the most stressful thing that can happen to a human being is losing their wife, husband, partner, whatever. And so that's very, very common. So what you need to do is to seek out help, counseling. One of my friends who lost her husband went to a grief group for 4 or 5 years. That really helped. There are grief groups around Portland. There's also something called the Dougie Center, mostly for children. But and I also have a video I did called How to Respond to the Loss of a Love. But you definitely need to reach out to friends, family, counselors, YouTube videos, and just take care of yourself. As I say, it's a big trauma, but the good news is healing does occur over time. I know many people have lost spouses and they're remarried years later. Not for you to jump into the future or anything, but it's really one day at a time. So please take care of yourself and reach out for help. Hello, Pastor Douglas and everyone. Hope your upcoming surgery goes well, and let's all not forget to hit the like button. Yes, of course. What is brain fog? What is brain fog? Can someone tell me? I guess that's when you feel you're kind of confused and you can't concentrate, like having a hangover or something. Sorry for your loss, Seabrunner. Yes, everybody here feels that way. The effects COVID is having in society, people are now turning on each other more than ever. Really? I thought they were reaching out for help to each other. I guess that's where it depends on where you live. I believe that no matter how much you lose in life, you will be compensated someday. Well, that's my theory, but sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes maybe it's not until the next life. Always go to nature. It's an oasis during any crisis. Watch what I told my godson just 20 minutes ago. Bearing the Unbearable is a very good book to help with grief. Well, who's the author? I actually have a video called Bearing the Unbearable Pain, but that sounds like a really good book. Rick M. lost his mom to suicide. He's shared that with us before. A tragic way to lose a loved one. It takes time. So Rick, are you feeling any sort of healing over the past, year or two? Like you say, it's it's very slow. Brain fog is hard to count numbers. Remember that what your to-do list is even forgetting where you put it. Yeah. Lazy Eye Ranch, Suzanne from south of Palm Springs. The only man I truly loved died in 1989, and a day doesn't go by that I don't think about him. It impacted me harder than anything at that point. That's when my depression became an error. See how dependent we are on each other? We are, what was I reading about? There was some other, horses. I'm doing a video coming up on horses and healing depression. And, you know, horses are social animals like we are, and dogs. Counselors and psychiatrists' priority is not to get sued. They don't like managing suicidal ideation in case they get sued. Well, that is true, but there's a guy named, what's his name? I'll remember in a minute. He has a whole protocol for counselors about how to deal with suicidality. David Jobes, Jobes. Look him up on the internet. Just had a barbecue at my dad's where we found our mom. Things are getting better. Thank you, Rick. Communicate that to C. Brunner, who just is on the heels of losing the spouse. So, yeah, and you lost your mom. So things do get better over time. But boy, that's a hard road to hoe. Thank you, Sana, for your generous contribution. And Danish Kroners, how are you doing with your children? Is your depression any better? I'm assuming you still have your kids. Pastor Douglas, why do you never see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're very good at it. It's just a little pun to make. C. Brenner smile. I don't know if that's a pun, but it's very clever. I like it. Joanne Cacciatore, Bearing the Unbearable. I'm gonna do a screenshot right now and look at that later. Lee Reed, you were here last time. Is it normal to not be able to speak to anyone when depressed, anxious? It's like I don't know what to say to people anymore. Suicide seems like the only option. I don't want to be like this forever. And guess what, Lee Reed? You're not going to be like this forever. That's the good news. Yeah, brain fog is thought confusion. Anyway, Lee Reed, so I have a video called Your Pain is Not Forever. I also have that on my Overcoming Suicidal Pain page. And by the way, just to remind you what we said at the beginning, that this is live chat is for informational support purposes only, mutual support, not meant to diagnose or treat any psychiatric condition. So we're just sharing information and being in community and holding each other's hand, and that's what we're up to, and it helps a lot. So, Your Pain is Not Forever. That's the name of the video, and I can tell you right now, you won't always be like this. 25 euros from our great friend Pedar Shields, who's a real mensch, as we say in Yiddish. He also runs the email list. If any of you want to be able to communicate with other people through emails in between live chat, just put your name on the screen and he will write it down on his list. Hey Pedar, how many people are in the on that email list? And are you still doing like WhatsApp, phone calls once a week? Tell me what's going on with your networking with other people. Thank you again for the 25 euros. Again, this helps to pay the videographers and also to, help things keep going. Anyone in Central Florida? Yeah, isn't Shirley there? I forgot her last name. Lola Frenchie Swan, did I ever get added to emails a few months ago when you said yes, going to be, and send me a book possibly to read? Pedar is right here. He would have been the one to add you to the email list. And in terms of a book, I'm not quite sure which book you said. I can certainly send you an ebook, and my audiobooks are available on Audible. 65 people on the list, different world. Pedar is collecting people on the email list so he can send stuff out and keep people posted and have people talk to each other. So that's what is the email list, please? Pedar from Ireland is giving his email address. It's pe.shields, SHEILDS, @gmail.com. You send an email to him and he will put you on his email list. Bend over, Central Florida, East Coast here. Yep. My parents lived in near Fort Lauderdale and also Boca Raton. Yeah, I've been there many times. Hey, Reverend Scott, I was given permission to use saffron and Luvox. Interesting. Saffron for depression, Luvox for depression. So, Lowly the Frenchie Swan, it looks like it's swanlawns1 @gmail.com. Pedar, are you writing this down? God, I am really sweating. Let me see. I'll be right back. I got to get the fan more on me. As I say, it's been blistering hot in Portland. Right. What do you call a boat that twitches at the bottom of the sea? A nervous wreck. Can you write his email down, please? Well, he did it. I'll put it again. pe.sheilds@gmail.com. That's how you get on the support group or the live chat mailing list. Okay. Lazy Iran shares something. I have a feathered friend now who's lifting my spirits. I feed a raven that hangs out here. He brings me gifts now. An earring, a watch, a small pair of clippers. So cool to experience. Ravens are incredibly, incredibly intelligent. Some people think they're the most intelligent animal out there, as much as dogs or elephants. So, yeah, the whole show on them on Nature, on PBS. Yeah, ravens are super smart birds. They love shiny things. Awesome. I have many feathered friends and I feed critters calming for me. Nature is so cool. Yep. As my father used to say, nature, you can't beat it. Hello, the Frenchy Swan. I just want to take a moment to thank you for putting this on some weeks during COVID. This was the only thing keeping alive. Consistency is very important. Yeah, to everybody. Speaking of which, as I've told you at the beginning, I'm having this major surgery on Tuesday, and for the first couple of days they're going to dope me up on opiates probably. I don't know what kind of shape I'll be in next Sunday, so let's just hold in abeyance. Usually I take the last Sunday of the month off, which would be the 29th of August. So if I can make it here and be able to sit up without pain, and I'll do it. If not, you'll know why I'm not here. It's because of the recovery from the surgery. Lazy Ranch, we think this raven is the same one I rescued as a baby. After a month he flew away, but he's back. His beak has a crooked bend, so I'm pretty sure it's him. We named him Igor. Any word on using isotronic tones for depression? Isotonic, yeah. Isotonic, I think it's isotonic. Anyway, it's a scale. I'm not sure what it is. Any music majors here? And yes, sound vibrations are very healing. That's what they do in the East. Yeah, sounds. Hey, David Anthony Burton from England. Hey, thank you, Padar. Anyone here try Delta 8? Is that an airline? You helped him, and now when you need him, he's helping you. That's exactly what happened, Xenia. Hey, Jared. Nice to see you. David Anthony says to me, don't worry, fella. Think about yourself. That's something like somebody from Oklahoma would say. He watched me cutting brush with loppers, so he brought me these little clippers that are a mini version of that. Wow, that's amazingly smart. He wants to help. I'm telling you, ravens. Hey, Nathaniel Gutenberg, I love your name. I'm glad you invented the printing press. Am I a therapist or something? I have a master's degree in counseling. Remember Ian Schultz? He has a master's degree in science. He knows more than you. Duck's Breath Mystery Theater. But no, what I really am, if you really wanted the truth, is what's called a wounded healer. Right? So that means someone who's been to hell and back and is trying to help other people in the same pit. I have a PhD in why Oklahoma, sir? I just made that up. I just pulled something out of the Midwest. So, you little fella, that sounds like somebody would say from the South. I don't know. It was just random. But anyway, thank you for telling me to take care of myself. I appreciate it, David. All right. Still treading fire here. Yes, Dragoon State. One of my favorite videos. If you find yourself in hell, tread fire. So what does treading fire mean? First time I learned to swim, someone threw me into a lake in sleepaway camp when I was 10. Help! They said, what should I do? Oh, tread water. Keep yourself afloat until someone comes out and rescues you. Well, when you're in the flames of hell, you tread fire. Same thing. Keep yourself above the flames, and one day they will either get extinguished by some outer blessing or they'll just die out, and you'll come out unscathed. So that's what treading fire is. Anyone got advice on antidepressants that are easy to stomach. That's an amazing pun. That is a pun. I love it. Thank you. Did you mean that as a pun? Tuesday. Here, I'll even. Hi, Douglas. How's life in Portland? Smoking and hot and miserable. Stayed away from depression, anxiety videos for a while. Still admire your work though, and wish you all the best from Netherlands. Thank you, Joseph. Yeah, I remember you. So, surgery. We're talking about August 17th at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. There you have it. Try taking it with a meal instead of an empty stomach. Oh, see, it was a serious question. You know, stomach has two meanings. Yeah, thanks, David Anthony. As I say, that just came out of my brain. Personally, but I work at a dispensary, and I know folks who claim it's great for sleep and anti-anxiety without being stoned. And what is that, Nathaniel? What medication are you talking about? Charles Bronson. Oh, Delta 8 bis. Oh, it's a cannabinoid. Okay, Delta 8 bis. Something from the hemp family. I got it. Because these marijuana dispensaries just have all these different types of strains. Who knew when I was 1967 just smoking pot that this would become like an art form? Lazy Eye Ranch. My son is back home from the 5150 Mental Hospital. Thank you. Your content has really helped me. Setting up from Ohio, legalized cannabis for anxiety and depression. Well, they've done it in Oregon. They've done it in Washington. They've done it in California. Just moved to the West Coast. What does P420 Romeo mean? I think it's very, very clever, and thank you for your $10. Haven't seen you before. Really appreciate your help. Poppycop 5, I'll be keeping you in my thoughts. I really wish you a speedy recovery. Take good care of yourself and don't be tempted to do too much. Yeah, that's going to be my problem. Thank you, Poppycock 5, for reminding me of that. Anyone microdosing here? Yes, I have a whole bunch of microdoses. I got legally here in Portland, but I'm not going to take them until after the surgery. Yeah, Dragoon Kate, David, I found it helps to counter it with a positive one. Is surgery giving you a lot of anxiety? You betcha. First time I ever had it, but this guy's good. And hip replacement surgery is supposed to be, in the immortal words of my chiropractor, a quote, slam dunk. Nice to have a non-life-threatening procedure. Well, yeah, I guess it isn't. I would agree with you. Yeah, I know people have had open heart surgery. Now that I would really be. But you know, it's amazing what people can deal with. You know how resilient human beings are? It's absolutely incredible. Now, if we're going to be able to deal with climate change, that's a whole other story. You know what one of my best friends said, this brilliant astrologer named Demetra George, she read years ago that the meek shall inherit the earth. Remember that from Matthew, or from the New Testament? Well, guess what? The meek in this book were bacteria and viruses. They're going to be ones taking over it. With superbugs that are resistant to antibiotics, and now these different variants of the virus, coronavirus, it seems like it's true, huh? Those little bugs, they're little, but they're potent. Curtis Price, I thought about taking cannabis, but it makes people dormant from what I understand. Well, it does different things to different people, just like Prozac. But I would do anything under supervision of, if not a therapist, at least some mentor. When anxious and depressed to the point I don't want to talk to people, I find YouTube videos which elevate my vibrational level helpful. Yes, well, that's what YouTube is for. You're going to have a genetic test done that supposedly tell you which antidepressants will work best. Yeah, it's hit and miss, but it's worth trying. Hey, Rachel, yes. I was going to name my daughter Rachel, but she was never born. Why? Because I never had children. That's why. All right, so we are now 28 minutes into the hour. Let's see how many people we have on the chat right now. I hope at least 60. 48. As Sarmad would say, hit that like button. Be nice to kind of enlarge our community right now. Uh, Ativan works well when I have anxiety. Yes, Ativan and Klonopin are two very powerful anti-anxiety drugs. They work, but not for long term, according to psychiatrists. I might be able to do a live stream out of a hospital bed. Well, guess what? David Anthony Burton, you won't believe this, because of the advances in modern medicine, this is an outpatient procedure, which means I come in 8:30 Tuesday morning and they send me home 4:30 p.m. Tuesday afternoon. So I'll have a hospital bed in my house, and maybe I'll do it out of the hospital bed, but hopefully by the time Sunday comes along, I won't need it. Hi, Douglas. Any advice for motivating yourself to apply for jobs? That's tough. That's really hard. I don't know. You need to have like a friend or something like cheering you on, or have other people, like every time you apply for 2 jobs, put it on Facebook or let people know and have them applaud you. The support of other people is very hard to look for work. No one really likes doing it. So that's where you need other support. Disobedience Spacewell, you're back again. Whoa, and RCB, you're back again too. Says Rick M. Will you be taking sleeping pills for a while if you cannot sleep after surgery? I have Ambien stored up, and supposedly opiates are good to help you sleep. It'd be interesting. I should do maybe I'll do like a Thursday live chat, just letting you know how I'm doing, like 15 minutes. That'd be cool. My goal is to get off of opiates in 48 hours and then go over to Aleve and to Tylenol PM. It's interesting. Some people report after hip surgeries almost no pain, and other people a lot of pain. See how variable everything is? So visualize me having minimum pain. That would be very helpful. Pilgrimages good for mood, I recommend. Yes, pilgrims are very, very good. Hey, Seven Harps, nice to see you. So yeah, I have medications. I have sleeping pills, and supposedly the opiates make you tired if you have pain. And of course, they take away the pain. Hard to go to sleep when you're in pain, right? Well, the Frenchy Swan, I've tried 6 different antidepressants. I almost killed myself on one of them. All of them, one antipsychotic worked, but I gained 150 pounds. Whoa. That much? Yeah, the Seroquel, major weight gain. But I've seen people exchange that for sanity. This one gal in my support group was going on 2 hours of sleep for 4 months. She was on her way, like, going mad until she got Seroquel. And it helped her sleep, but it did do weight gain. Everything's a trade-off. Anyway, yeah, talk to your doctor. And there is something called sleep hygiene. There are ways to be able to, oh no, you're dealing with antidepressants. Okay. Well, keep working with your doctor, and maybe you guys will come up with something. I was thinking of trying mushrooms, but used to use them as a teenager. Well, very careful with those opiates. I have a lot of respect. Cannabis is better than antidepressants for sun, says P40 Romeo. Thank you very much for your $1.99. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Some people, cannabis makes them relax. On the other hand, it makes me paranoid, and my mind goes around. I kind of feel anxious. So, 7 Harps. Hey, how do I go from suicidal to not suicidal one day? It's a weird thing. It's just something stopped. Can you explain that? Yeah, what happens? I was suicidal for 9 straight months after my depressive breakdown in 96, 97. And it's like the pain is not constant. One moment you have it, and then it kind of goes away, then it comes back. It's variable. That's just the way the brain is. When it's dysregulated, it goes to working properly to not working properly. It's like back and forth, and that's how you can be. In one moment, you can feel suicidal, and the next moment, you don't. Now, if this is like just came and went in 15 minutes, that's one thing. And if it's an ongoing cycle, you got to get to a counselor or psychiatrist. So, yeah, it does, come and go. But when you get over the depression and you have healing, then they go, right? Suicidal ideation is a function of pain, PAIN, and that's it. Hey, my good friend from Canada, Lagai, Lisa, peace be with you all, and peace be with you. How's your new location? And P420 Romeo, psilocybin can be life-changing. Just research and work with open-minded doctors. Yes, you know that, of course, in Johns Hopkins University, they're doing major research on psilocybin in conjunction with psychotherapy. It's been legalized here in Oregon, the first state in the country to legalize psilocybin when used with psychotherapy. They're setting up a board and all sorts of training. Within about 2 years, it's going to be used with caution, under supervision. David, I've had suicidal ideation constantly for 9 years, every minute of every day. Really? I don't know if you can survive if that's really true. Usually it comes and goes, but I'm sorry for your suffering. The question is, what have you reached out for any sort of treatment? And I had ECT when that was the case for me, and it helped, electroconvulsive therapy. Vancouver, Washington, hey, you're across the river. If we had a support group, I'd basically have you drop in if you wanted to. Silent Haiku 89. Hey, I'm struggling as I've never had a relationship, so feel like it'll be alone forever as I'm below average in looks. Well, don't get too far ahead of yourself. You know, that's what worrying is. You know what Mark Twain said? I've had a great many troubles, but most of them never happened. And, you know, so if you're struggling in a relationship, I would go talk to your counselor or find a counselor and get some help. Thank you so much for sharing your story and your knowledge with the rest of us. I have a question. Do you think having a diary helps with dealing with depression? Absolutely. I think you meant to say diary. Having a diary? Yeah, if you have a diary, you can eat yogurt when you're depressed. You can have smoothies, all sorts of things. I happen to like cows, and they're worse than the day. Oh, you meant diary, not dairy. Got it. Anyway, so yes, journaling is incredible. I've been journaling since I've been 13. And writing stuff down gets it out of your head, onto the paper, out of your consciousness. I mean, journaling has been used forever, thousands of years, as a form of therapy. There was a guy named Ira Progoff back in the 70s or 80s who did a whole bunch of psychotherapy on journaling. You should look him up. But yes, writing down. Anybody else here journal besides me and the person who wrote? All right, let's get back to live chat here. How many people do we have? 56. We're creeping towards 70. Okay, Sebastian. So yes, I agree. Writing a diary helps, absolutely. At least it helps me. A good cheese lifts my mood. Yes, I write songs. Tell me, that's great. Music. You do journal. Julia Tannenbaum does journal. It helps identify your thoughts and feelings and release them by writing them down. Yes, Enya K. I journal my dreams. Excellent, Dragoon Kate. Yep. Look at all these people talking about journaling. Well, there you have it. On dating sites, looks are everything. Well, maybe, but what people really attract in a relationship is a person's personality and their kindness. So, don't sell yourself short just because you don't think you look so hot. Besides, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Look, Muhammad al-Samad, using a Yiddish word, mensch. See, there is hope for peace between the Israelis and the Palestinians. Great milkshakes help my depression. Yeah, it helps with the dopamine because of the dairy, I think, is calming. And the sugar, of course, is great. Why does our mind and thoughts kind of want to lie to us? It lies to us when the brain is dysregulated because of depression. Somehow you have what's called the cognitive triad of depression. The mind sees yourself is worse off, the future is worse off, and the world is worse off. That's one of the symptoms of a depressive disorder, seeing things through a glass darkly. I don't know why, but it's what happens. Hey, P. Romeo 100. I don't know what those 100s, or is that 700? I don't know what they mean, but thank you. Douglas, have you heard about cold exposure? Yeah, Wim Hof, and I've tried it for anxiety. Cold showers, absolutely. I think cold can be very healing. Never knew about that Triad. Oh yeah. You go ahead, P40 Roman, put that in. It was Aaron Beck, the great modern founder of cognitive psychology. You put that in the. I'm actually going to do it right now. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go to Google and put the cognitive triad of depression and see what happens. Okay, here we go, guys. You can't see me. Cognitive triad of depression. I'm just typing this in Google and see what comes up. There is cognitive triad of depression right here. 3 forms of negative helpless and critical thinking. There it is. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take this link. I'm going to drop it in here. Let's go back to Safari and let's do this. Give me a second. Okay, here it is. I don't know if you can click on it. Well, maybe not. Here we are. That's a big link, isn't it? Anyway, that's the cognitive triad of depression. I don't know if you'll be able to, be able to click on it. That's just one little link. Can we protect ourselves from the lies of our thoughts? Absolutely. Cancel, cancel, cancel. And then take those lies and refute them with the truth. No, I'm not going to die. This pain is not forever. I can get better. I've gotten better before. With God, all things are possible. Whatever affirmations you want to use. Absolutely. Hey, Richier, nice to see you with 21 minutes left. I'm starting Effexor today. Your thoughts on this drug? It's helped a lot of people, Sandy. It's an SNRI. It's been around forever. Cold compress on the neck or splashes cold water in the face really help rest my stinking thinking. Very good. By the way, Sandy, I am not prescribing, but talk to your doctor. Usually, in general, with medication like this, starting small is good because some people are very hypersensitive to SSRIs, like me. So, yeah, Douglas has a good video about what to tell yourself instead. Very good. Thank you, Xenia. Yes, David, we can definitely protect ourselves from lies of our thoughts. There's a book called Feeling Good by David Burns about that. Seems nothing has helped my mental routine more than the fitness routine on a regular basis. Absolutely. I have I'm going to put it right down here, right? I have so many videos on this. You know what? Actually, this was one over. Oh my God, this link wouldn't work because it was one character over. Oh my goodness. Well, I'll try doing another one. Anyway, nature. Let's try it again. EXERCI is nature's NATURE. Yeah, of course it's on Wikipedia. Everything is. I can't do this. Exercise is nature's antidepressant. Yeah, you found on Wikipedia where everything else is. Seven Harps is interesting. Most people switch the opposite in their beliefs if they switch at all. We need to tend to believe what we learn as children. That's absolutely true. I'm going to try one more time to go ahead and find something else that's not quite as long. Okay. Oh, there it is. Beck's Cognitive Triad. Speaking of Wikipedia. Wow. Here it is. Straight from the horse's mouth. Aaron Beck. And this, thank you. Thank you. Was it Romeo or whatever? I forgot your name. P420 Romeo. Here it is right here. For everybody else, the Wikipedia link to the Cognitive Triad of Depression. It's amazing. They do such a good job. Abbott Norse, nice to see you too. 61 people, only 9 more people till we hit 70. We have 18 minutes to do so. Hit that like button, please. Are your knees in good shape? As they state, hip replacement surgery is much worse than hip therapy. It is. One of my knees is not good. It's not been good since I've been 21, but doesn't seem to, the arthritis doesn't seem to be that bad yet. But I've had 3 friends who have had knee replacement surgeries, all a success, but much more tricky. I've been on a middle dose of Zoloft, but it's not effective. Will higher doses make any difference? Well, that's what the thought is, but definitely talk to your doctor. You are the landlord of your thoughts, and tell them it's time to let some new tenants in because they're evicted. Whoa! Charles, that's a great analogy. I'm going to use that thing. Thank you. You go for 8-kilometer walks every day. That's about 4.8 miles, 5 miles. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Fitness is the best, I'm telling you. I don't know what I do without my bike rides. Of course, I'm not going to be able to ride for 4 weeks. That's going to be a challenge, a major challenge. Lola Frenchy Swan, thank you for that testimony. The church of my childhood was negative and scary. I'm not an atheist, but my beliefs are more humanistic now. Absolutely. Hey, Leah Benetti. Lazy, my therapist gave it to me at first, and I was annoyed, but I was paying her for nothing. It seems I wasn't in the right frame of mind to be reading anything I wanted her to teach me. And what did your therapist give you? Not quite sure. Mahash CB, all the choices, decisions I made in the past, I never took action. Now I am facing the consequences of these decisions. Now I don't have to hope. I don't have no hope living in the future. I'm not quite sure what you mean, but there's always reason for hope. Oh, you're David Lagai, Lisa from Canada. She's working on David Burns' Feeling Good. That is the introductory book on cognitive therapy. What are my thoughts on no FAP? I don't know what that word means. Seven Harps told a wonderful story, which I'm looking for. You guys are just going bing, 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 and I don't know, maybe Seven Harps, you can tell me the story again. I can't seem to find it. I'm going to have some, yeah, the book by David Burns. Yeah, it's called Feeling Good. A very good title for a book on CBT. I believe porn contributes to depression. Yeah, well, it's also a symptom of depression. Anything that you try to self-medicate. Okay. So, negative view of self. Negative view of the world. Negative view of the future. The cognitive triad of a very good concept. Yep, best thing about the future, it does come one day at a time. Oh, you have to put your cat down? Yeah, I think you told me that. Very, 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 very sad. You're late? Oh, Susan Jones from Virginia. How is it in Virginia? Probably less hot than Oregon. All right. I went from being suicidal, constantly feeling good about myself, to just changing my beliefs about myself. I have a theory that beliefs drive these feelings. Well, that's exactly what they say in cognitive therapy, right? The whole point is to change, like, I'm no good, I don't deserve love, you know, I'm a piece of crap too, I'm a good person, I love myself. You watch porn every day? Well, you know, I've known people who've done that. I was in a men's group where like 80% of people were doing it, but I don't think it's a very good long-term solution. I did a lot of CBT a lot this week. The 13th was the 25th anniversary of my dad's murder, worst day of my life. I did fun things to distract, got through it. Igor the Raven is helping me feel good. God, you lazy ranch. So many of us have been to hell and back. Look at this. We are survivors. You know what David Burns, not David Burns, the guy who was paralyzed, Christopher Reeve, a hero is an ordinary person who perseveres in spite of overwhelming obstacles. I'm going to write that down. A hero is an ordinary person who perseveres in spite of overwhelming obstacles. And I'm going to write this down because it's such an important concept. Okay, a hero is someone who perseveres in spite of facing overwhelming and there he is. Everybody is a hero on this particular live chat, or anyone who's ever struggled with depression, anxiety, suicidal feelings, manic depression, borderline personality disorder, you name it. Oh, John Asaraf, and what does he talk about? 7 Harps. Charles Andrzejewski, all problems are solvable. They might not work out as planned. Some problems take longer than others. Yes, yes, yes. I agree. It's strange how the mind changes you and how you can guide it. John Asaraf is a great thing to watch. And what does he talk about? He must be a therapist who's on YouTube or something. ASARAF. I'm going to write that down. And where is it? ASSARAF. I need to have a pen nearby here, and I don't, but I'll remember that. Oh, I do have a pen. On Point Teachers Credit Union. Good credit union. Okay. JOHNASSARAF. Okay. Oh, by the way, I used to be an avid chess player and played in tournaments. I still work on solving chess problems with my best friend. And I saw something the other day when I was at the coast. I had nothing else better to do, and I'm sure many of you have seen it or at least heard of it. The Queen's Gambit. On Netflix. By the way, 10 minutes left. We could certainly use 1 or 2 more donations before the end of the program. All right, how many of you have seen The Queen's Gambit? And you know, my only problem with the show is why do they have to, like, you know, use addiction to pills as a way of becoming good in chess? Almost all the world champions I know were not using drugs, maybe some. My wife said I should do lunges to stay in shape. That would be a big step forward. That disobedient space world, let's try it again. That disobedient space world, okay, can we try it the third time? That disobedient space well is a fantastic pun. I'm going to write that down as soon as we get off the line. My wife said I should do lunges to stay in shape. That would be a big step forward. I love it! Thumbs up for disobedient space well. I think it's also important to define values ourselves and defend them. And active listening to mindset coaches. Yeah, ultimately devastated me. Yeah. All right. And what did Leah Benetti say that was helpful? What skills have you used? My dad is very sick. I have so much coming at me. The move is still a constant headache from renovating to packing. Yeah. Click that like, according to Rick M. Yeah, I agree. Okay. CBT is a very good way to get healthy self-esteem. Yeah, that's the definition of courage, JR. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's the ability to move forward in spite of your fear. M. Scott Peck, the author of The Road Less Traveled, first said that, but it's a cliche because it's so it's such a good truth. Lola Frenchy Swan says that borderline personality disorder, difficult condition, but there's something called DBT. I'm sure you've heard of it, dialectic behavioral therapy, that is very successful. I'm afraid for the calendar. Its days are numbered. Not too bad either. But the lunge is being one step forward. I mean, that's brilliant. It is too warm in here. We have 8 minutes left. I'm going to get something else to drink. Hold on. I just want to remind you guys of 2 things. This memoir, When Going Through Hell Don't Stop, How I Overcame Anxiety and Clinical Depression. It's now an audiobook on Audible, and I've also serialized it in 16 episodes for free on this YouTube channel. And I have another book that I'm really, really fond of. It's called Words That Heal, Affirmations and Meditations for Daily Living. That's also on audible.com, and I have serialized the 52 meditations on this channel. The first 10 are already up. So, if you want to get acquainted with some of my writings and some of the inspirational stuff that I've done, you can look at those two books either on this channel, or if you like audiobooks and you like to listen to stuff in your car, washing dishes, cleaning the house, sitting on the front lawn, looking at the sunset, you can go on audible.com. That's right, chocolate makes me cough. AUDIB. There it is. 61 people, still a little bit short of 70. Dr. Douglas, how are you, my friend? Getting a little anxious. Waiting for this surgery in 48 hours. Anyway, yeah, good books. I'm listening to that book right now. Which one are you listening to, Xenia? I have two of them, Words That Heal, or When Going to Hell Don't Stop. Don't wait for the storm to pass, learn to dance in the rain. What's cooking? I like that. Oh, it's called My Octopus Friend. My Octopus Teacher, that's what it's called. My Octopus Teacher is the name of the film. Amazing, won the Academy Award. My Octopus documentary. And When Going Through Hell, how is it, Xenia? I'm very proud of it. It's the best thing I've ever written, according to me. I'm very proud of it. A, I'm very proud of surviving that episode, and two, being able to set it down, I think, in a way that people could understand it. Well, 12:55. My hip is hurting. Hey, good luck with your operation recovery. And Lagai, thank you so much for your generosity. I really, really appreciate it. You're a menschette, which means a woman mensch. Sorry about your cat. Sorry about your dad. Yeah, when it rains, it storms. But yeah, you know what? You are a survivor. You have the tools and the support you need to get through this, and keep reaching out for support. Douglas, you've been through hell, the surgery will be cake. Well, that depends on what kind of cake. Chocolate layer cake would be a good cake, for sure. You got this. Next week at this time, it'll be all over and healing. I know it's a very anxious situation. I'm hanging there and be well. Thank you, Pam. Can I call you Pam for short? Xenia H, I relate to a lot of what you're experiencing when going through hell. It helps you know you're not alone. Yeah, that's what my friend Noah Thomas, who's got a very good station called, a YouTube channel called Big No No. He read that book when he was hospitalized here at St. Vincent's de Paul, and someone gave it to him in the hospital. He said, you know, up until I read your book, When Going Through Hell Don't Stop, I thought I was the only one who was going through this kind of horrible depression. And I knew after reading your book I was not alone. Believe me, you're not alone. I got my groceries on my bike ride. I'm grateful. Good luck tomorrow. Rich? Yeah. Feeling Good by David Byrne is 20 years old. Out of date now, is it? Well, it may be. What would you recommend to replace it? Although the principles of CBD have been known ever since, like, Marcus Aurelius, right? It's not so much the things that happen to us, it's the estimation we have of them. And that principle is like eternal. Bye, RCB. I love your name. All right. Dragoon Kate. I love the name Dragoon. I love what you said. Don't wait for the storm to pass. Learn to dance in the rain. Yeah, what's cooking? That's a good quote. I'm gonna use that. Hey Mohammed, it's called My Octopus Teacher. I was super fit, then had a near fatal cycling accident. What? Left disabled and suicidal. Wow. Look up to Cameron Burrell to see the negative effects on an athlete. You know, I'm a cyclist, and I've had one accident where it just fell on my hip coming to a stop, but I'm not going to go. I was going to go cycling tomorrow. I'm not doing it the day before my surgery. If you get cut, you risk infection. So I'm sitting tight. But sorry about that, David. You know, cycling is an amazing, fun, and wonderful way to get fit, but it is potentially dangerous. I'm sorry you're disabled. I hope you can come out of your suicidal ideation and your suicidal thinking. But you went through a tough time. There are three kinds of people in this world: those who can spell and those who can't. What you mean? No, Edward, you mean there are three kinds of people in this world: those who know math and those who can't. That's what you're talking about, right? Because spelling doesn't quite work in that pun. And anyway, nice to see you, Edward. All right. Pedar, in the last 2 minutes of the show, is leaving his email, pe.shields@gmail.com, for anybody who wants to be on the group email list. Y.ock, I think it's also important to define values ourselves and defend them. Yep, that is true. We have to, open to our blues. No one has said anything about the Queen's Gambit. I guess there are no chess players here. By the way, Disobedient Space Well, my wife said I should do lunges to stay in shape. That would be a big step forward. I cannot tell you how much I like that pun. I'm telling you, I love that pun. You have made my day with that pun. As a matter of fact, I'm going to send that right now to my fitness trainer. He will really appreciate it. All right. Thank you, Disobedient Space Well. You made my day with that pun. Thank you. Don't you think that was a good pun, boys and girls? I thought it was brilliant. All right. Well, it's 1 o'clock. As they used to say, you've wasted another perfectly good hour in Car Talk. Do you remember that show? Sorry about the chess puzzle, Doug. Yeah, well, somebody else, Gem, who doesn't come on live chat anymore, I think sent in the right one. So let's cross our fingers. Good luck with your operation. See you next week. Thank you, God willing. Thank you. You're welcome. Disobedient Spacewell says, well, so how could you tell a possible significant other about your suicidality in the past? Well, you have to wait till you really have a trusting relationship with that person and hope they'll be understanding. But I would talk to your therapist about that. I mean, some people do not, mental illness scares them. So that's a tough question. But I would, if you've been together for 30 years, that might be quite possible, because I'm sure that person in 30 years is probably, knows a lot about you and has seen you through your ups and downs. So, but, fortunately, my wife, Joan, and all my friends understand my mental health disorder, my depression. They've seen me go through these horrible depressions. They've seen me be suicidal, and they still support me, and that's, wonderful. All right. So, it's 1:02. You're an angel, Doug, says Drogoon Kate. Thank you for sharing. We are all survivors. We're so strong. People tend for healing. Yep. So, you guys... stay on the line or stay on the chat. You've got 10 minutes to schmooze, connect with each other, support each other, exchange email addresses, phone numbers, whatever you want to do. The only thing holding me up from this operation is I have to see if I passed the COVID test, which I'm sure I did, but I haven't looked yet. I've been too scared. But other than that, if I did, away we go, as Jackie Gleason would say in The Honeymooners, which none of you knows, except maybe Lazy Eye Ranch and Ann C., because you have to have been alive in the 50s. Fundamentals haven't changed. Yeah, pygmies on the shoulders of giants often see further than the giants themselves. Very nice. So, I'll probably give you an update in the middle of the week on how I'm doing. I might even do a surprise live chat. I don't think so. Probably won't be well enough to sit this computer, but you never know. And Pedar, one more time, is giving his email address, so you guys stay in touch. And until we meet again, I wish you the best in your mental health recovery. Thank you so much for watching.